Hey, family and friends. What prosper? I see prosper right ahead of me. Street called 380 University Parkway. I started 7 miles back there at the border of Frisco and the Colony, Texas. And I'm walking and praying over the city of Frisco, praying for a move of God, praying for His glory to be poured out on Frisco as well as the Colony and Little Elm and Aubrey. And don't worry, Prosper, I'm coming for you in the next week or so. But you might say, why are you doing this? It makes no sense. What are you going to accomplish through this and from this? Paul tells us, he writes in the scriptures in Corinthians, he says God will use the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. There's one term called base things. It is the things that are foolish can produce mighty and great power. In heaven's economy, sacrifice is always needed for Him to move, for Him to break out in our natural realm. And so this foolish thing that we might think in our mind of walking the borders, 7 miles today, it was 8 miles the other day, 15 miles in these 2 days. And just over the Frisco border, I still have 2 more days of another 14 plus miles praying in the Spirit for God to surround this city. And we're going after Prosper and Salina next. The foolish things, he said He'll use. The things that make no sense to us, He'll use them to confound the wise. What has God told you or asked you to do? What has been placed upon your heart? What thought have you had that you said, oh, that's just silly. God can't do anything with that. Let me tell you a quick story and then I'll get off of here. A former mentor of mine, former pastor, the man who originally first ordained me into the ministry. He told me a story, or he actually was a part of a church in Kampala, Uganda. And his pastor told a story visiting our church, and he told it as well, that there was a little area in Kampala. It was a swamp area. Just swamps, and animals would come there, etc. And he, the pastor, name is Robert Kayanja. You can look him up. But he would go to a tree that was overlooking this swamp. And he would climb this tree and he would sit in it and he would pray. And the Lord told him that He wanted him to build him a house, church, right there on that land that was a swamp. And He told him to consistently pray over it, for the Lord wanted it for His house. And he did, and the swamp began to dry up. And it dried up to the point that he built, at the time, I don't know if it still is, but at the time, he built the largest church facility in Kampala, Uganda. The foolish things. He told him to climb a tree and to pray over a swamp so he could build his house for the nation. The foolish things God will use to confound the wisest of us. God's wisdom far exceeds ours, what He knows and what He can do. We cannot comprehend. What has the Lord spoken to you in time past? What has He told you to do that to your natural mind is foolishness? But in the spirit realm, it is God's with you.